Okay, so our reader question comes from, I think it was the IGN comments of one of our articles. JLips85 asks, my question for Anime Club is, what shows have you rewatched and why? This is a dilemma for me now as I am getting back into anime because the list of great anime is so vast. Yep. I'd be watching into my old age. So as you should anyway. It's fine. So what show is good enough to garner a rewatch? Kill la Kill. Done.
We're going to back away as Vince and Miranda have it out.
No, it's okay. My answer is not Kill la Kill.
Yeah. No. You're asking for a fight.
It's going down.
Hey,
we're just going to separate this section of the table. It's like the Enterprise.
We're just going to build a wall of Pikachus between the two of you.
Hey, you have to share a train home with me sometimes. Better watch yourself.
Oh.
You better watch yourself. I'm sneaky.
Yeah, we know. We actually, and it's fair though because we both know where one another lives, which is right around the corner from one another. Yeah, a show that I've rewatched again and again. I mean, the lazy, easy answer is Bebop. I just said it a minute ago that I've rewatched that show 3 and 4 times, and it's only because I think the main factor for me is how well a show ages. I think how thematically relevant it continues to be throughout the years. Like a great opposite example is my first series I ever watched was Tenchi Muyo, and what's that?
I said hee hee.
Right? And I loved it desperately when I was like 12. I thought it was great and funny, and it was one of my first, like I said, one of my first forays into anime. And it's just plain old unwatchable to me now. Like I would try to go back to it. Might have been as long as 10 years ago, and I was like, nope.
That's kind of fun though.
None of this works for me anymore. And so I stopped watching it. I'm like, the person I was when I was 12, it was perfect for. But the person I was at 22 and 32 and now at 37, it has nothing to say to me anymore. On the flip side, Bebop has something to give for someone in every season of life. I feel I don't know anyone of any age who could not glean anything from watching that show.
So while you said like, Tenchi Muyo doesn't offer anything for you anymore, I went back and watched all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Got put on Netflix, and I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! So much. I had my own deck. I built it. I competed against friends at like school, and then I even went to a tournament at a mall.
Did you win?
Did you win?
No. So it was really stupid because they gave us like a pre-built deck, and so you can even use your own deck. So I was like, I don't know these cards. They're not my friends. Okay.
These cards are not my friends.
Yeah, it's like, how are you supposed to believe in the heart of the cards if you don't even know them? It's like, man. So I don't know your hearts. Get out of here. Anyway, and it was just kind of fun to see how bad it kind of was. I mean, there was fun stuff to it, and it's kind of funny. There's this one scene at the main tournament, like with Pegasus. I forget. It's like the American duelist. I don't remember his name, but he has like the scarf with the American flag on. Anyway, towards that, his end of his little arc, him getting out of the duelist kingdom, he actually threatens Pegasus with a gun, but they took it out of the American version. And instead, he's just holding up his hands like a fake gun. And it looks really stupid because he's threatening Pegasus. He's like, I'm going to count down to 3. It's like, what?
What happens at 3?
So it's just kind of fun. Like, I mean, I don't want to say that garners a rewatch, but it's kind of a fun thing to watch in the background. Like, if there's like an anime you really love or a show you really love that has like a dub, it's just kind of fun to like, I have to work on a paper, or I'm researching something, or I'm playing piano, or I'm learning something else. And you just kind of have it on in the background. Like, it's kind of fun to rewatch that way too. I do that with a lot of old movies. Like a lot of Ghibli movies, I'll just put on in the background. Like, I love them to death, but I'm not going to always sit down and watch every little second of it. It's kind of fun to background noise.
I'm very different from you in the sense that if it's something that I could put on just as background, it's probably not something that interests me enough that I'd want to rewatch it.
For me, it's something that I've seen so many times or seen enough of that I'm just like, yeah, I'll just glance over enough and kind of see it. But as far as actually serious rewatches, like I said, Kill la Kill, of course. I think there comes to a point whenever you start forgetting key points in like your favorite shows, and that's when I think garners a rewatch. For me, it's Code Geass. I haven't seen it forever. It's not streaming anywhere, so it's kind of really hard to get. And I'm starting to forget things about it, and so I'm like, it's time, guys. Gotta rewatch again. How about you guys? Like, what would you? What's like the shows?
All the
that you
eyes
would-
have turned to me, so I guess it's my turn first.
Yeah. Oh, Lena.
It's interesting because I actually, at the time when I first watched it, I didn't think it would become the series that I go back to time and time again. That has, like, kind of, when you were talking, Vince, about the whole, it has to grow with you, otherwise you lose interest in it because you're not that person anymore. I know we keep going back to 90s series all the time on the show, but for me, it's The Vision of Escaflowne.
Okay.
It kind of has a little bit of everything in there, which is it's got shoujo elements, it has shonen elements, but it also has more than just the two main characters who are high school aged. You have older characters who interact with each other and do kind of face, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're grown-up problems, but they're different problems, right?
Yeah.
And even Vaughn's quest is not your typical high school kid's problem, right? So it's weird because it's one of those things where I can put it on in the background and just have it playing while I'm, like, cleaning, getting through chores, cooking, whatever. But it's also something I can watch and just sit down and just immerse myself back in that world for a bit. I don't know. I think I rewatch it maybe once a year.
Oh, wow.
Depending how I'm feeling. I think the last couple of years I've just kind of let it slide. It's just like, oh, it's on my shelf. That makes me happy. I can move on with the rest of this month. But I don't know. It's weird. I never thought I would like it so much, but it's kind of endured the test of time.
Megan.
Well, I know people are going to be tired of me evangelizing Slayers and Sailor Moon, but those are my go-to, because I wouldn't say I grew up with them exactly, but that's the thing that got me into anime so hardcore. So just a couple months ago, I brought up the episode with Tuxedo Melvin, and that was a perfect example of a filler episode, but I was standing there giggling like a maniac at my work desk because I'm watching it, getting ready to review Sailor Moon Crystal, and there's nothing like that in Crystal. There's nothing like that in the manga, but I love that episode. And the same thing with Slayers, where I'll go back and watch the first story arc with, Red Priest Reizo and all of that, and I'm just like, it makes me happy. So I don't rewatch a lot of shows. For whatever reason, I'm not that kind of person. I get bored because I know what's coming, unless it's exceptionally good. And for me, those two shows are exceptionally good.
So it sounds like instead of watching an entire series, you just watch specific episodes.
Yeah, I watch specific episodes. Like, I can't sit there and rewatch an entire series again.
Yeah, if you watch
like
all
that.
of Sailor Moon, that's like 200 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. there's like 5 story arcs, right? So it's like I'm not going to be able to do that. And the same with Slayers. There's 3 main story arcs, and then there's Slayers Revolution and Evolution R, and those were garbage, but don't get me started on those. But I pluck out episodes that I remember and that I remember fondly, and then I'll watch those. So I can't sit down and rewatch an entire series, but I will pick out my favorite episodes and rewatch those.
Yeah, if we could even slightly modify that question to like just what anime do I rewatch more and more, without having to be a series, it would definitely be the original Vampire Hunter D is definitely my most watched anime, hands down. As a super young like early teen, preteen, D was like an image of heroism and like manhood that I wanted to aspire to, and is still something that I go back and watch, and I'm like, it's such a in a lot of ways, I guess it's an outdated or outmoded idea of what a man is, in modern society. I don't know. I haven't rewatched it in maybe 2 or 3 years now, although I used to watch it several times a year for a long time. But there's still frames of it and quotes and like brief scenes that I'll replay in my head and go, yeah, that's the man I still try to be or I want to be. Whether or not I ever actually manage that is another story altogether. But that's
so awesome though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, D is. I can still, every once in a while people bring out these random anime stills or picture stills for a meme, for like an obscure meme on the internet, and a lot of the times I miss them because I'm an old dude. But
You're old.
But but you could take the most random screen grab from Vampire Hunter D, and I will 100% know the character and the scene.
Exactly what's happening in that scene.
I will absolutely know it. But on that note, sadly, I do have to move on.
So since you are leaving us,
Yes.
what's your Twitter handle so everyone can spam you with Vampire Hunter D screenshots?
Yes,
That
please
would be
do that.
amazing.
Oh my god, that would make my day if you would just
Quiz you.
Yes, please spam my Twitter with Vampire Hunter D memes. I am on Twitter at Vincognito. That's VINCOGNEATO. DOA.
I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Thanks a lot for having me, though.
Yeah, thank you for being on.
It's really been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Bye.
Yay.
So, as this guy heads out, we want to challenge you guys. What do you guys rewatch? Answer that question for us and for JLips85, because I'm pretty sure he'd want some cool shows to watch. So, yeah, tweet those to us, whatever.